You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
Jury picking?
Jury picking.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, gross atomic waste. From deep within the core, gross atomic waste.
Hello and welcome to the 538th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks. Tonight, I've got Jess. What's up, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Greets, everybody.
And also Ray. What's going on, Ray?
Hello, hello.
Well, you guys, tonight on the show, we are playing some Roundtable stuff, going through Fallout New Vegas still. This week, we are working our way through the Honest Hearts DLC. So join us, won't you? If you love canyons, ravines, rivers, cave painting, come join us.
Weird man-eating plants.
Weird
Turning
man-eating
spears at you can't even find.
Bears.
Up on hills you can't get to.
They are
Jaguars.
bears. Well, let's see. Let's go down the rundown, see what we are getting into. Go do our gameplay off the top as per usual, and we'll get into our roundtable stuff. I prepared a new game for tonight, something brand new called Order Up, and Jess gave me an idea for something when we were chatting earlier this week. So, Jess, if you don't like this game, it's your fault.
It's my fault. Blame me.
And Iguana Bits, looks like we got a couple of bits coming up. So let's go ahead and roll right into the show, see what everybody's getting into. Jess, do you have a chance to play any video games this week?
Just a few, and it's mostly going to be us talking about the quests. I finished
Woohoo.
up Final Fantasy 1 that I had been playing last week.
Which is 3?
Yeah,
Or
no.
not?
Final
No.
Fantasy 1 is actually 1.
Oh.
That is like the real pole position.
Which one is 3 then? The one that I call
Final
3?
Fantasy 3 is number 6.
Sixth.
6. In Japan, it's 6.
And Final Fantasy 2 is number 4. So you just double it. And then you get
just double
to
it.
number 7.
Oh, okay.
It goes 1, 2, 3, 7 in the U.S.
And did they, I assume at some point, re-release the Japanese versions in the United States? Did they Englishize them or whatever? Or
They did.
You?
They went back
Okay.
and did all that. Even on PlayStation, they released something called Final Fantasy Anthology, which was 5 and 6 on a single disc.
Oh, fun.
After Final Fantasy 7 hit, it was so popular, they're like, well, we got to do something. So they gave us 5 and 6, but they weren't great versions, but they played. And then they went back and they reworked them for, they've got the pixel remasters now that I'm playing, but they put them out on DS, and they've done a few versions over the years.
Yeah, I saw
But
the
7
the
on, we
pixel
got the real thing.
remaster of 3. I almost played that one, but I don't know. I want the old version, you know.
No, the pixel remaster is what you need. That is the old version.
Oh, it is the old
Pixel-
version. Okay.
Yes. It's pixel perfect. That's it. It should actually be called Pixel Perfect Remaster, I think.
I see. Okay, now I get it. I saw some like fancified newer version of 3 or something.
And that's the one you want.
Okay.
That's the one you want. Yeah, because there aren't any other new versions. So Final Fantasy VII is the one that they've remade, but they haven't remade
That's the
any
one
of the
everybody
others yet.
loves. That it's like the game, right?
Well, it was kind of it crossed barriers that JRPGs hadn't really prior to that. Especially like here in the US. Like while people had played some Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy and a few JRPGs, 7 was the one that was kind of the system seller. You know, it was the Skyrim of its time that like everybody had to get a PlayStation to play.
I was gonna say, wasn't that one of the big anchor games of the first gen PlayStation? That
Yep, it very
I
much
think that was the one of my buddies, Mike Cade's, really into that.
And then
I never
people tried to
played
play
it, watched
8,
it, though.
and they're like, I didn't think this was a dating game. What's going on?
Oh no, dating sim?
8 was good, but it's probably one of the least popular of the modern Final Fantasies. The plot's a bit odd. It's
That-
very much
If
about
I remember
the
right, that had to be late 90s, 97, 98.
Yeah, exactly.
Have they continued to make these games? Are we on Final Fantasy 37 by now?
Final Fantasy 16 came out, like 3 years ago now?
They need to up the rate. They fell
Final
off. They
Fantasy
fell off
15
pace.
was back in the mid-20 teens. They really slowed down part of the problem.
Fell
Then
off
they've done
pace,
spin-offs too. Mm-hmm.
So is that really Final Fantasy 32 then?
Yeah, it really is. It's
on
it's
the country you're in.
64
It's
because you forgot
68 in Azerbaijan, yeah.
How does she many Christmas? All right.
But I finished it. But I finished the first Final Fantasy. I wasn't sure I was going to because the whole idea was I just wanted to dip my toe in and play some old RPGs. I was in the mood, you know? Like I said, back in the saddle, wanted to play it. But I couldn't stop. The fact that with the boosts, you can get through the whole thing in 8 hours or so, maybe 10, made it worth. I said I need to see this through. So I finished my water temple, my fire temple, my air
the water
temple. I went and did
yeah.
the boss, and then I went back and got achievements too. Got
Whoa.
all but 2.
That's
The only two, the
amazing.
only 2 I didn't get were 100% of the chests and 100% of the bestiary. Like, and I could, but I'm not sure it's worth it. You know, there's a limit.
And that's just animals you find or something? You'd have to log
Yeah, the
animals and such?
bestiary, there's like 132 enemies or 140 enemies in the game. So I found all but 30 of them. And and because it's random encounters, you just kind
Oh,
of got to wander
right.
around landscape in the area where they might be and hope they attack you. It's like you're holding a little goldfish. You're like, here, Ocho, Ocho,
Come
here,
on,
Ocho.
please.
Exactly. And the
I'm
next thing you
here.
know, bam,
I'm
it's a slime.
vulnerable.
And then same with chests. There are a couple I didn't want to go back for. But that's because I had some New Vegas to play, which New Vegas was interesting. So we're going to talk all the way through Honest Hearts, which doing one DLC in a week, I know that's a bit of a lot, but it's funny. So I did it this way partly. I mean, I split some of the other DLCs, but I did this partly because I remember it being shorter than I remembered, if that makes sense. Like the last time I played it, I'm like, oh, this is shorter than I remembered. I can do it in 4 or 5 hours. And I probably did it in 5 or 6 hours total. Like, you know, I pushing through, trying to do it quickly. It took about 6 hours. But I definitely leveled up a lot, and something I've heard from people in chat as well. That like, so since I've been doing mostly main quests, like the way that Calliope has been playing, I've been playing like maybe, 3 to 5 hours a week, not as much as, I normally would when I'm in a game because we're stretching it out for the Roundtable. And I've been pretty much just main quest focused, So as I think I mentioned, like 2 weeks ago, she was like level 9 last time we played. So she was level 13 when I got to this. So I had played some. I did a little bit of NCR stuff. I did some exploration. I haven't done Vault 22 yet and haven't gone to Jacobstown or any of that. But so she was 13, and probably by the time I got to the Happy Trails Caravan, she was 14. And then when I finished up, and when all said and done, I was level 18 when I got my chest and back outside. So you get a good 4 or 5 levels, even at a higher level in Zion. Did you guys find about the same probably?
Yeah.
I'm at 3 or 4 right now, and I'm not quite finished with the DLC. So yeah, that's probably about right.
Yeah.
And I think other people reported similar in Discord.
And you're higher level than me too, I think, right? You're probably up to close to 20 at this point.
Yeah, 18, 19, somewhere in that ballpark. Maybe low
Okay.
20s. I forget.
It's only a little above me. Yeah, I am. I had been going slow, but I got a good 3-4 levels, I guess, the week before, and then another 4 levels with this. So I'm catching up with y'all finally, which is good.
Woohoo!
Been really fun playing, getting more used to it. My whole PC setup I'm comfortable with now. I didn't even have any disconnects this past week. I'm still saving like a mad woman. I'm at save like 120, 121 at least on the character.
You
maybe
can
more.
delete some of those old ones now. It's okay.
Oh yeah, I've only got like 20 a couple. That's very specific number, 20 couple.
Gotta have a couple to rest on,
It's awesome. He's Silly Orange Chat hit level 30 today. You don't get a score
Damn,
case for that,
bro.
but good job.
Is that the cap, or they uncapped it when DLCs came around, right?
DLC kept
Yeah.
adding, right?
Okay.
Was the original cap 30, Ray? And then we got
Yeah.
5? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
5 each.
Fallout 3, the cap is 20. And then you get, 10 for Broken Steel and 5 for each DLC after that. This one, cap was 30, and then I think you got 5 per DLC. So I think the new cap is 50
And
for us, if
what,
there is one.
What changes that they went from a level cap to no level cap? Why have the cap in the first place, and then why remove it?
So in the first place, it's kind of about level scaling and balance like they do. They wanted to make leveling more consequential and important. And there are a lot of games where you level slower. I almost think that part of the change is just a change in philosophy. You go back to the old games and they almost always had level caps. Like a lot of times D&D, you hit level 12, you hit level 13, your character's almost a god. You hit level 15 and, you're super mega powerful. Whereas in MMOs and stuff, you hit level 50 and you're like, oh, I just finished grinding out the first half of the main quest. Like level scaling has changed over the years. Different games handle it differently. And I think that Fallout 3 to New Vegas to now kind of did that and changed with the times.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I was level 19 when I went in
Mm-hmm.
and 23 when I came out. So 4
Okay.
levels up.
Yeah,
that
so-
seems to be about the rate.
Which you would think that it would be like, it seems like we're each getting 4 levels, where you would think that me, like, I mean, I
would
guess
get
I was,
6,
I think
yeah.
I was 14 when I got there, but 13 or 14 to 18. But that's still only 4 levels. You got 4 levels. I'm hearing that from people in chat too. So,
I didn't
You know.
notice. Was there a minimum level requirement to access Honest Hearts?
recommended level is 10, but I don't think
10,
there's actually
okay.
a lock to it. Like, I think it says recommended 10 when you look at it in your Pip-Boy or whatever. Like, I do think there's an indicator, level 10 recommended, but not needed.
Okay.
But yeah, so that is most of what I did. And we'll talk about lots more about New Vegas, Honest Hearts once we get there in the roundtable.
Beautiful. All right. Ray, did you have any video games that you would like to mention this week, sir?
Yeah, I did a little bit,
What'd you play?
certainly not to my normal level because I'm out on the road, but I've I've been playing Skyrim and No Man's Sky. So Skyrim is vanilla because I've got a brand new laptop and haven't really loaded any mods or anything on it. And so then I decided, well, I'll just play vanilla and see. I just did that with Starfield, and I can definitely tell you that it's much easier to do in Skyrim than it is in Starfield.
Yeah.
It's easier to
It's,
play vanilla in Skyrim,
Yeah,
Yes.
which is a decade older at least.
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, and I mean, a lot of it is just their choices of UI and how you interface with stuff, and so
We talked about that a bit last week. Yeah, it
Yeah.
felt like a slightly more complete experience, especially with the UI. Like that was maybe the most frustrating thing for you, I think you were saying.
yeah, for sure. And then in No Man's Sky, we're kind of in that flux between so all of the Redux expeditions are over, and now we're waiting for the next update to hit. And so right now I'm just running around collecting Corvette parts so that I can build a really cool Corvette for the character that I've been playing the most.
What does
But,
that word Corvette actually mean? I just think of it as a car model. Does that word mean
It's-
something?
Yeah, it's a mid-sized warship, so it's not as big as a destroyer, but bigger than the standard coastal.
I had no
ships.
idea. It's a nice battleship,
Yeah,
warship.
it was used a lot in World War II to guard, ship convoys.
And when did they name the car model? When did that start getting?
I
Right
think
after
that
World
was
War
in
II?
Was it like 53 maybe?
Yeah, so like
52? I don't
less
remember.
than 10 years. Wow. Yeah. Marketing, huh?
They're mentioning in chat, about how the leveling changed, just to go back to that real quick, that Fallout 4 really, we could level a whole lot more. Skyrim, there was the 80 rollover cap, right? And then Starfield now, we can get level 300 or so. So they really have increased the amount that you level over the games. They've also made them more open and repeatable. And I mean, as far as
and I
just
think
keep playing.
They changed the way that that the perks work.
Yeah.
The way that with the skills system, if you go to level 50, which is the cap in New Vegas, you can be 100 in almost all skills at that point.
Right. Whereas you're definitely not going to get there in Starfield. At level 100, you'll be a little bit better. And then Skyrim, of course, they did the legendary system, right? Where you can just roll over and keep going.
Yeah. And and in Fallout 4, there's a huge number of perks that you can take,
Mhm.
but no skills. So you're not over leveling skills by being a high level.
So, is it better to level more frequently with small boosts or level less frequently but more consequential with the perks?
Well, I mean, I think that, I mean, Starfield kind of takes it a little too far
Yeah,
because there's
yeah, they
such a
do.
huge increase in the number of XP you have to have, to advance levels when you get up over 100.
Too much, too much. They want you to be Starborn forever to get a lot of the skills. Actually, what I think they really wanted was characters to specialize and not every character to do everything, which makes sense. But they just, skills in Starfield take too long. I
Yeah.
just firmly believe that.
Well, they wanted that, but then they also made it hard to do, certain things unless you were leveled in those skills.
R- Right, which is such a bad move. Level gating, pardon me, but I just level gating your ability to craft outposts and to do stuff with animals. And, so much of it is, well, skill gating, not level gating technically, but it is
Right.
level gating because you've got to choose, do I want to put this level into something useful for survival or anything else, or do I just want to focus on crafting? Which,
Yeah.
again, I get doing that, but I feel like the Skyrim or even Fallout 4 system is better than the way they went in Starfield. I liked the idea of it in Starfield, but it's just too far, too far.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you're, if you want to, even if you want to focus on outposts, it takes so many skill points to get to a point where you can build an outpost on Venus, for instance. Um, and that means that you're not going to be investing points in your piloting ability, your combat ability, your physicality,
Right.
and so it makes it a challenge.
And it makes
But
some really interesting systems in the game not available to a lot of players because
yeah,
they can't. They're like, oh, outposts are nowhere near as interesting as settlements. Well, they would be once you have, 4 in outpost engineering, but you're not going to ever get that because you're playing the game unless you go round and round through the Unity and such.
yeah, or if you use a mod that gives you more than one skill point per
Yeah.
level.
It's odd to me because I remember how excited I think both you and I were about the skills in Starfield at first, with
Mhm.
the fact that it was kind of mixing both systems. The Skyrim idea or the Elder Scrolls and in general idea of the more you do it, the more you can level it, which is what the
Yeah.
challenge is at each level of the skills do. But then there are 4 of them per skill, and you level itself so slowly, and you almost only get XP for fighting. Not for finishing quests, really. I mean, a little bit, but nowhere near what you should. So it ends up being almost all combat to unlock things, and just not the same. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to Starfield rant. I blame Bruce Nesmith on this one. I think he was like one of the primaries behind the skill tree, and there should have only been 2 or 3 levels per skill.
Yeah, it's I can see conceptually how exciting that was for them to develop. I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, they could have done a better job on some of the. It looks like a few of the, the challenges for certain skills, might have been thrown together at the last minute.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I think they're like, ooh, we need another level to all these. Let's just, how tough can we make it?
Yeah, but all in all, it's a fun system to play with,
It really is. And I'm complaining about nothing.
and and I always look forward to a new system to learn how to exploit. So
There we go. There is that. But we need a nice Scion to come in here. Okay. I want essentially like he did with all the Skyrim perks. I would really like a comprehensive rework of the skill
Yeah.
tree.
What is the Fallout 4 equivalent of going Unity or level 81 or, Unity and Starfield? What is the Fallout 4
Yeah.
equivalent of that?
hitting level 2, what is it, 283, 284, something like that.
It's that. I was going to say, is it level 100? Because that does not seem like nearly the accomplishment.
There is no rollover in the same way. I mean, maybe getting a special stat to 10 and maxing it out, or maybe just starting a new character, right? For us?
Get a, start over.
But I think it seems to me the number in order to get all of the specials and all of the perks
254,
is like
right?
283.
283,
Yeah, 283, 204 something.
And that's with the DLCs and everything, right? Didn't it add?
No, the system was like that out the gate.
Right.
The DLCs didn't add anything to skills.
Oh, it wouldn't have added to the perks or anything. Right?
The perk list. So
something changed.
it just gave you a way.
Changed.
It gave you a way to get to the higher level. Because it gave you new stuff to do and new things to get XP for.
Yeah. So because I just asked that question because I was like, I was gonna have you guys rank what is the higher accomplishment going Unity. Is it? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. What's the Starfield
right.
thing? Unity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting to the Unity or going through the Unity? Yeah.
Go Unity, bro. Or 81 in
But
Skyrim, and then there is no equivalent in Fallout. So I would, which is more remarkable?
They're very different things, though. They're very different things, right?
I'd say the Skyrim thing seems almost untouchable. I think I only did that one time with one character. Have you done that multiple times, Ray? You only play like to level 20 and then you restart. Have you ever done it? Have you ever gotten anyone to 81?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did a character specifically because I had never had.
Fight the Black
so I
Knight.
never fought the Ebony Warrior.
Ebony Warrior, sorry.
The Black Knight. None shall
Just a
pass.
flesh wound.
None shall pass.
But
and there was much rejoicing.
In Starfield, you don't have to go through the Unity in order to,
Right.
to max stuff out. Because I had that character where I was level like 220 something. And they had never been through the Unity.
Yeah, and I'm 103, and I've never done I did the Unity, but then I went back. I said nope. And
I guess that isn't the same thing. I just consider that as like a landmark, a marking point. You know what I mean? A destination or a the.
Yeah, and that's what they
sort of
designed it for. Is really the good thing about the Unity is that it increases the difficulty level of the game as you go through.
Yeah.
Wait, you said good part, though.
Yeah.
Good. Wait.
It is a good part. It is, and it resets all your mods, so you get a fresh slate, and there are new options. There are people out there who say you haven't played Starfield until you've done a couple trips with the Unity.
I've only
guess I've
done
never
one,
played
and I
Starfield
wish
then,
that I
but-
had, and I hated it.
Yeah, so you really need to do at least 10. If you're going to do
10.
one, do 10.
If you're
Well,
gonna do one, see what the difference
you're
is.
gonna
No,
max it
honestly, because
out-
that's how you would actually see what the difference is, right?
Yeah, because that's where you're going to everything is going to be as hard as it possibly can be. So if you have all the sliders set to the highest possible extreme difficulty, and then go through the Unity 10 times, then you've
That's as difficult as the game will naturally
you've
get.
beat the
you've
game.
done
Good job.
Starfield. Yeah.
Well, but of course, I mean, I don't like that idea. You know what I mean? Because I'm glad it gets harder every time. But I feel like looping the Unity and feeling like you have to do that as a goal is what burned a lot of people out on Starfield the first year. Because they felt like they had to do that rather than continuing to explore, the actual settled systems. They're like, okay, got to do the quest again. Okay, got to make the donuts. Okay, got to make the donuts. And by the fourth, fifth time, they needed their coffee.
All right, enough with the donuts. Hey, so when you say it gets harder each time, do the bad guys get spongier? Do you do less damage? What happens?
Yeah, both. It's
both. Okay.
It's just like when you raise the difficulty level in the sliders. It takes more. It takes more to kill them, and it takes less for them to kill you.
Okay, and then in turn, do you gain as it gets harder? Do you gain more XP per kill or whatever. Does it work like that? I don't even remember if
I don't
Starfield
think it
works like
does.
that. It doesn't? Okay.
Nope. Nope.
So
they just do more
you
damage.
don't level up any faster or anything. You still would level up at the same rate. That resets as well, and then it takes the same amount of XP points, which you earn at the same value.
Yeah.
And then
That's
so
the
that,
fun part. It's slower.
Yeah.
oh boy,
weird.
yay!
But it
So
does.
it's the
it
same
does
rate,
help
but things
you
are harder,
raise
so
your-
therefore it's slower. Okay.
it helps you raise your combat skills faster, because a lot of them are, the number of shots you take for some things, the number of
yeah, because it'll take
legs you
15
cripple,
shots, right, instead
or,
of 7. Right.
or that, and so because you have to shoot them so many times to kill them, sometimes you'll get 4 or 5 crippled limbs in the process, and level up your skills.
So many interesting facets.
Yeah, and we got to approach them all differently. Didn't mean to get you down a whole Starfield path. I know you were talking vanilla Skyrim and No Man's Sky Corvettes. I'm not even sure how I got there. But, skills. It's interesting how they differ.
Skills, bro.
Yep.
So, you been playing anything else there, Ray?
Yeah, that's been
anything
it for me.
exciting in No Man's Sky? You said you're kind of twiddling thumbs, treading water until the next emoticon drops. Emoji.
Yeah, just waiting and collecting parts.
Corvette parts, right.
Yeah, Corvette parts. You fly around on planets and find, salvage spots and go loot them for components.
Alrighty. Any other gameplay stuff you want to mention there, Ray?
Yeah, that's been it for me.
Yeah, well, my gameplay will also be fairly quick. I have been playing the Roundtable stuff, and since you can't leave Honest Hearts, I didn't do any side trekking or anything worth mentioning there. So we'll get into our quest here in a little bit. My other gaming I did this week is just earlier this evening, Mo and I went and got the new Donkey Kong Bonanza game for the Switch 2, which, I only saw an hour of, but it's pretty freaking cool. Very smooth and flashy and shiny and fast, and it's pretty darn entertaining.
Are you hearing, oh, banana all the time?
Ooh, banana. I was a huge fan of the Donkey Kong Country games. I think this started around the Super Nintendo, probably. But I played, 3 or 4 different games of those on varying systems. But I really like those games. Mo just talking about some game called Donkey Kong 64 that I don't remember playing that. And I'm like, the one with the Congos? He's like, no, not the one, because there's one with drum. Do you remember the drum controller that you had to play? That was some other game, some rhythm game for the Nintendo 64. But he was talking about Donkey Kong 64, and we play old Donkey Kong games. So we got the new Donkey Kong Bonanza game, and it's super, super sweet. So we're just barely into it the first hour. But it's pretty interesting because Pauline is... If you've played Mario Odyssey at all, Mario's hat is sort of like the secondary character. If you have a secondary controller, you can control his hat, and it's a hat named Cappy. Well, it seems like there's going to be a same thing in Donkey Kong Bonanza, but his hat, instead of being a hat, is a woman who rides on his shoulder named Pauline, who was the lady from the very first Donkey Kong game that he captured that Mario was trying to rescue in the very first Donkey Kong game. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that yet, but it seems pretty weird. I don't get it yet, but I'll see what's going on. We just barely started it. Super, super excited to get into, Mo and I like to play Nintendo. It'd be pretty fun. So yeah, I didn't play any Shelter. I was still jaded by getting scammed by scammed by
we knew what you were going to say.
Seasons. Such a bullshit scam. Yeah, that's pretty much. I don't know. Let's roll into some Roundtable stuff. Why don't we?
What is it with the Roundtable stuff?
Okay, so Roundtable stuff. What are we getting into, Jess, this week? We've got Honest Hearts. What DLC, what order was this one?
This was actually the second DLC released. So the order they actually came out was Dead Money, Honest Hearts, The Big MT, Old World Blues, sorry, I forgot the name for a second, and Lonesome Road. So we're doing the second one first because this was, at the time, the better liked and definitely friendlier one to do early on.
Dead Money. That's the one everyone hates, right?
Well, no, a lot of people like it. It has its fans.
Okay.
But I mean, I think they're mostly being contrary, let's be real. But maybe, I feel like maybe you're going to love it. It might be like a Fallout 1 kind of thing where we go in
I
and
love
we're not
things
sure.
that people hate and all that. I am your contrarian over here.
Like, he likes it. Mikey likes it. Yeah, so
Exactly.
we'll find out. But Honest Heart. So this was the second one to come out, and this is the one that takes us to Zion. So to kind of set the scene there, basically, let me see. So a synopsis on
God.
this.
Please
It's
set the scene. What the fuck is going on? New Canaanites and there's just so much. I feel like they dropped almost too much story in, like, they just like cramming it for, like, I feel like I needed about 8 more quests to cram in as much story as they're putting in, if that makes sense.
There's a lot of story, and this one even starts with its own, intro slide scene and exit slide
That's
scene
a
when we get
movie,
there.
yeah.
But so the general idea is to set the scene, okay? After the first Battle of Hoover Dam, which was led by a man named Joshua Graham, the Malpais legate, as they call him during this, which I don't know what Malpais means. And if you know what Malpais means, I didn't look it up.
I can Google it here.
Yeah, I'm looking up right now. Malpais, like, oh, wow, it showed up in Google search. So people have looked it up before.
What's it mean? Rugged?
What does it mean?
Spanish for Badlands? Am I the
Oh,
wrong one?
I guess so. Yeah, Malpais in Spanish-speaking regions are rough and barren landscapes. So kind of saying where he comes from.
The Badlands.
Okay. But he was actually from New Canaan. So after he lost, after, the Legion lost the battle at Hoover Dam, the first one that we're, in the aftermath of now, in order to make an example, Caesar took and he had to, essentially, Joshua Graham was his most successful legate up to that point, a very feared and successful war leader. But they made an example of him, and he had him lit, I believe, burned in pitch and thrown into the Grand Canyon. Okay. And then he kind of became a legend because rumor was he survived. So that's the start there. Now, fast forward to whatever. Caesar has tried to rally the Whitelegs and entice them with becoming part of the Legion, and getting the strength of the Legion behind them if they destroyed New Canaan and its people. So they destroy the city of New Canaan, which we never see on all this. This is where our caravan is going, but we never actually see New Canaan. And New Canaan is considered like another tribe. I believe that they're essentially, based on the Mormons and the Mormonite religion, but an evolution of it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what, because that's got to be biblical Canaanites. Like, I know that's,
Yes.
That's a Mormon soliloquy.
Yep, I believe that's where it comes from. Someone might know a little bit more about New Canaan itself. They talk a bit about it, of course, during this. But I think it was supposed to be like Ogden, Utah, or a part of Utah, which is why I think Mormon. So a lot of New Canaanites were destroyed, but some survived. They retreated elsewhere. Joshua and Daniel. So Joshua, after he survived, had set up with a tribe called the Dead Horses, and was leading them, teaching them to defend themselves, and they were getting a little bit more territory and taking care of themselves better. Daniel went, and after leading some New Canaanites to safety, he was helping this group called the Soros, which we find because he had been a missionary to them prior, because part of the New Canaanite religion, they send out missionaries and such, and Joshua had been a missionary to them in the past, so he wanted to make sure that they were okay. Well, they started being attacked by the Whitelegs encroaching on the territory. So Joshua took some of the Dead Horses from Dead Horse Point, and they set up in the area where we meet them here in Zion. But this isn't actually where we see the Dead Horses. That's not their main camp. This is a place they've set up during this situation, during this DLC. And they're there to drive off the Whitelegs and help defend the Soros under Joshua's leadership. Daniel is there to help the Soros, which is the other tribe we meet. And of course, he wants to help them withdraw and escape from the Whitelegs. who are meanwhile coming in here. And the reason they're coming in to destroy them is because they want to establish dominance over the whole area. But also, these tribes were friendly with the New Canaanites. Their job or their mission from Caesar, their edict, was to destroy all of the New Canaanites. So they need to flush them out. And that's where some of that happens. And they hope that they can take out, these two. Obviously, one of the biggest reasons Caesar wanted to do this and make an example is because he knew Joshua Graham was alive. Even though it's just a legend, he knew Joshua Graham had survived, and he wanted to punish him further, if that makes sense. Bring him to heel and grind him beneath his boots.
Oh, good Lord. So, all you biblical scholars out there, tell me why these characters are named Joshua and Daniel. I know it's like Daniel in the lion's den or something. Who's Joshua in the Bible? Ray, you a biblical scholar? You know who Joshua is or what he did in the Bible or anything?
He was one of the leaders. I think, did he lead the fight against
he had a horn. I remember Joshua had a horn.
Yeah, the one where they walked around and the walls came down.
Oh, that's like Game of Thrones with the magic dragon horn and blew the wall down.
There we go. Chad is letting us know Joshua was a leader after Exodus, and he took over after Moses. Thank you. Yeah, we're not a biblical scholar podcast, so some of this is a little beyond us.
But I just know that they love their references, and it's thick with whatever's going on here is ripe with biblical
the Battle of Chris Jericho is what I'm hearing. Is that right?
Chris Jericho. What?
I think it's just Jericho. Isn't Chris Jericho
he's a magician or something, a wrestler or something, right? Who's that? Chris Jericho? Oh, wrestler.
Something like that. So we are joining
magician,
the
wrestler, whatever.
Happy Trails Caravan Company. What happens as we go towards the north end of the map? Suddenly, the Happy Trails Caravan radio broadcast comes into view, or is picked up by our Pip-Boy. So if we tend to listen to it, we get a message from Jed Masterson, and he's recruiting for the Happy Trails Caravan Company to make a trip to New Canaan. And he's looking for, anyone experienced, who has a survivalist, and especially if you have a Pip-Boy, he would like to have you come along. But if you're just, I forget what he actually says essentially, but he doesn't want any posers. He doesn't want any city slickers showing out to try to, make their mark.
No city slickers allowed. And don't you dare bring in anything over blah, blah, blah weight. What the fuck?
Well, that's what happens when you go and you meet them and you sign up. You get the rundown of what's happening. There's a couple guards there. There's someone from a vault, a few others. And if you tell Jed you're ready to go right away after you understand the mission, which is essentially, you get half your money up front, you get half later. It's essentially, 5 caps a day or 25 caps a day? Anyway, it's a decent sum when you figure it all out. And you get a bonus if you make it to Zion, and a bonus if you actually make it to New Canaan. Because they're not sure they can. They want to trade with New Canaan, but the way has been blocked. The old passes have been blocked because of what's happening.
All right, we're forging a path here, right?
So anyway, that's the long story short. Now, we're not going to talk through the whole quest in depth, but I figured I'd set the scene for y'all. So we start off on our journey, and then we get the slides and all that explaining the situation that we're walking into.
So he does limit how much you bring with you.
Yeah.
So he says 75 pounds, and there's a chest that you can dump stuff in if you need to.
Yeah.
If you have a survival of 50 or more, then you can up it to 100.
You say I have a big backpack, right? Something like that.
And what's the reasoning? Is because we're a caravan and we need the weight to come back to carry their products or something?
Well, it's mainly because there's a crap ton of loot to pick up in Zion,
and they don't want you to leave it there.
They need to make sure you don't miss out on anything.
Yeah, they don't want you to leave your best stuff behind, so they want to leave you some room for that. That makes perfect sense. I mean, I think the in-game explanation is you can only travel so much. It's a long trek. You can only have so much in your backpack, and that's why survivalists can bring more. I was only
so now
I was only able to
they're
bring
concerned
75.
with the stuff in my backpack because the 400 pounds that I usually carry in my backpack.
I got to say, I filled up pretty fast when we got in there. I was kind of glad for this, but man, did I wish that I had brought some armor to repair my armor. But that's a whole other thing. So you get to Zion. That's the first quest is Happy Trails Expedition. Then after you finish that and you watch your slideshow, the next quest is Arrival at Zion. And essentially, you're just getting in there. Everybody's settling in. You get to take in the views. And as you start to walk, through the park, you're immediately set upon by some white legs, and no matter what you do, they're going to pretty much kill your entire party.
They, I assume you couldn't save any of them, right? They all die no matter what.
Yeah, it's scripted. It's scripted. They're chugging like green goo or something to kill themselves if you don't.
Oh no!
If you don't let the enemies hit them enough.
Yeah, it is fun to snipe the guy off the high rocks, and watch him, ragdoll down the side of the hill.
Even if you can't recover the body, it's worth it. So,
so right off the bat, you get some pretty decent weapons. They've got good rifles, plenty of ammo. One of the guards has got, pretty decent armor. But I was in my super stealthy, bright red and silver spacesuit.
Spacesuit, right? Yeah,
right, super stealthy. By the time we get there, they expect us to be relatively high level. It starts at 10, but this was DLC. So I actually think I was a little bit low coming in here at 13, 14 in some ways for the level of challenge. One thing I might have missed in the past, and I don't know if I did, but after they, destroy your party, you've still got some of the goods and weapons and armor that they were carrying that you can loot from a couple of sacks and chests over on the left by the wall.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I got those last time.
Yeah. And then, one problem with being a long range sniper is that you can't always tell who you're shooting. And so I had to reload because I shot Chalk.
You shot Follows Chalk?
There's a white leg that comes towards the bridge.
Yeah.
From the other side. And Chalk was right behind him. And so I just dropped both of them.
It's funny. If you hit him too early, he's probably not protected yet. Because I think that if you hit him accidentally, because you only knock him unconscious, but maybe you get him before he even is acknowledged as a companion, you can kill him.
And failed a bunch of quests.
Dang, I had no idea you could do that. That's
a
crazy.
very fast way to complete all of those quests.
Yeah.
Boop.
Yeah.
All right.
But yes, after your entire party dies, you continue on down the bridge, you loot what you can, which you're going to quickly find out you can only carry so much. That is the whole thing about this DLC. So I'm kind of glad they sent you in without a whole lot of stuff. I quickly started leaving stuff behind. But you meet Follows Chalk, and he's kind of your intro companion to what's going on in Zion. He has all kinds of questions about, where you come from. He's got like 5 lines he repeats all the time. But,
Yes,
he's interesting.
Comments on the...
he'll forever tell you you're going the wrong way.
Yeah, and you jingle.
Yeah, I was about to say, he comments on the caps in my pocket all the time, making too much noise, and why do I care about collecting? Why you drink bottles of stuff? Get the caps. Why? He's so concerned about the modern world out there. It's almost like it's going to come up later.
It was a fun way. It was a fun way to dramatize him, and I like the character for the actual conversations. You happen to go through his conversation tree, and I like some of his comments the first few times you hear them. But he does repeat himself a bit much.
Yeah, a little. But, you have to keep in mind that these games are fairly old and, they probably didn't record 8,000 lines of dialogue. You know what I mean? They probably had a little less variance. Well, I mean, obviously had a little less variance back then.
No, that's very true. And I mean, they're not all bad. And depending on how quickly you play, it's not as long. I feel like the first time I was in Zion, it was way longer, but I probably explored every nook and cranny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Every location,
my God.
Every terminal.
And then the canyon system, so many nooks
Cool,
and
right?
crannies. So
You
many
love
nooks and crannies. Just, it's loaded with nooks and
My favorite part
crannies.
is not the crannies or the nooks, but the peaks that you can't get to.
Oh my God, it's so frustrating to get to your quest marker and realize it's 40 feet straight above you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now
Yeah.
I have to backtrack all the way down the river, like 6 miles that way to get back up to that ramp so I can come back over here to get that bridge to go back across so I can go back down over there, come back up over here. So much go left to go right, go down to go up in this canyon bullshit. It is crazy.
You can do some Skyrimming though, but the problem here is when you're with the companion. So we start with Ballastrock, and basically he's leading us to Joshua. So we're going to make our way to meet his tribe and Joshua and all that. But you can do the Skyrimming and, belly up to the bar and just keep hopping until you make it over the top. But then your companion has to find their way up. And so they're running, down a river and across a bridge and up and down valleys. Sometimes they can get really lost trying to find you. I feel like I lost my companion about 30% of the playthrough in Zion. I probably put about 5 or 6 hours into this.
I found that they would be behind me and I would go down the hill or whatever, like you were just mentioning, sort of Billy Goat, the Skyrim style down the hillside. And then I would also all of a sudden get the notification. What is it? Walks on clouds or follows chalk is unconscious. And you're like, what happened? And it's like realize that they just, like Ray mentioned, the corpse tumbling down the mountainside. Well, that was just my follower, but he was trying to follow me, Billy Goating down the mountainside. He was just doing that, that ragdolling Ray was just describing.
Yeah, they fall from time to time for sure.
So often he is unconscious. I'm like, what is he doing? Taking a nap? Get up. But yeah, that's one thing I did when strategy wise. I quickly found that always go the up route. If you have an up and down path, always stay the up route because you can always drop down from the up route with your Skyrim, like Billy Goat style down the mountainside. But it's almost impossible to go up anyway if you can. I could not figure out a way, like shortcuts up were impossible. So always take the up route because you can always drop down a lot.
That's easier. A good tip. That's a good tip because you can die falling off a cliff, but it's pretty easy to find little.
Yeah, save before you start doing your Billy Goat.
Yeah, because your companion may not make it quite so well. But you learn a bit about Zion, and you learn a bit about the dead horses and the way that they think about areas around there, that both the dead horses and the sorrows, he tells you about both tribes. And he talks about Joshua and Daniel a lot. The back then, or the back when places, they're marked with the handprints because they're considered taboo. They're taboo places, don't go there, bad juju. And that's because of stuff you're going to learn about later with the sorrows and the survivalists. The sorrows have been here for a long time. But they basically consider, a lot of back when stuff taboo, which is kind of the excuse and motivation for why your character has to do a lot of things that the people who actually live here should be doing.
Right.
But you learn about stuff on your way to the Dead Horses camp, and that's all the way on the kind of southeast in a canyon area. You get there are traps going in, and you learn a bit about the tribe. Ballastrock, he's got the name because he's a scout in training. He's not a full scout yet, but he is on the cusp of being a full scout. He has less fear about the back when places, so Joshua considers him, very useful for these kind of missions, and it will assign him to you when you get there. But essentially, you're going to meet Joshua, who appears to be like the war chief or even leader of the Dead Horse tribe. But when you get there, and you find there are like 4 or 5 of the tribe outside, and doing various things, and then you go into the Angel Cave where Joshua is. There are a few more, and the Dead Horse tribals are marked as their various jobs. Some of them are also called New Canaan disciples, and I think those are the ones that are learning, the religion from Joshua and Daniel and becoming more, religious. But effectively, they act the same in combat and conversation for the most part. So anyway, you go in there and meet Joshua Graham, and you guys want to talk about that situation?
Yeah, you want to talk about a frustrating, repetitive. It's not his lines that are repetitive. It's him cleaning the same pistol over and over again and putting it in the stack.
It's that cheating animation trick where you pick something up from behind a pile and put it in a different pile, but of course nothing.
Neither pile changes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a cool ass animation, though. I do got to say, Joshua Graham's a badass from the word go. The way he talks, the way he acts. I can see why he's got a legion of fans. But he's very cool. So you get the lay of the land from him. And this is kind of where you learn that he doesn't consider himself their leader, but he's given the honor currently of, guiding them and is kind of their war chief during this operation.
Yeah. So then he sends you off on a mission to gather up some stuff that is going to be helpful to Daniel.
Yep.
And so
Let's see, what was it, like walkie
you
talkies?
go to the,
I think.
Yeah, you go to the to the different taboo places.
Yeah. So he's like, if you want to help me, I will give you these missions 3. And you get roadside attraction, gone fishing, and tourist trap are the 3 quests they give you to essentially get supplies to help from each one of those locations.
And why are these locations taboo?
Because they're old ranger stations and fire towers and buses and things from that aren't tribal.
Yeah, they're from back
so they're
when.
considered taboo.
And I assume taboo things off limits to the tribe. They're not allowed to go to those places.
They're superstitious. Yeah, it's a combination of they're not allowed to in some cases, but I think it's more superstition, which is what they get into, which is why Follows Chalk is okay with it because he's less traditional, if that makes sense.
He wants to get out and see the world.
He ain't scared. He's curious, which is kind of one of the great things about him. So the first one is roadside attraction. You need to get a compass from a crashed scout bus. And of course, Follows Chalk, who is a scout in training and works scout, says they seem kind of small for scouts because, of course, they're kids.
Yeah.
They're, I'm sorry, I almost said Cub Scouts. I meant Tadpole and Possum Scouts.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you have a repair skill of 30 or more, you can fix the compass. If you don't, then you have to find a compass component, a little compass module that then you can use to repair the compass with.
Where's the module? Isn't it nearby?
It's like on the next kid over.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, they make these rather easy. Like a lot of these, I mean, not easy, but they give you a solution nearby, which is nice. I had a repair skill, but it's good to know that if I needed a sensor, it wasn't too far. So we got the compass there. Then the other one, next one is Gone Fishing, is the next closest, right? And that's the one that sends you to the fishing lodge. And do you remember what you're getting there?
Yeah, the walkie-talkies.
Walkie-talkies, okay.
Which, you're better off getting last because Follows Chalk is going to tell you about the walkie-talkies over and over and over. How do you say walkie-talkie?
You want to hear something ridiculous? I don't remember that line. I don't remember saying it even once, and I did the second.
Well, that's because it's so painful that you've blocked it out of your memory.
That's what it is. And actually, this might be one of the times where I lost him. I think he was stuck walking against a picnic table for a while I was sneaking and scouting. Oh, and he was like the shadow of a ghost. And then we were sneaking, and I was more obsessed with the giant green geckos, and I was getting murked a little bit here. I was getting bodied by some of these creatures, not like wicked bad. Like I was doing okay, but the 2 giant green geckos on the way to the next location, they took me out a couple times.
Yeah, there's geckos inside the fishing lodge.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, certainly one of the benefits of being as high a level as I am, and having good weapons is that, these things are pretty easy to take out because I've super high sneak, and with the spacesuit, I don't give myself away with clanking armor. So, it's just a matter of a couple of shots to the head with a silenced 12.5, and you're good to go.
Not according to Follows Chalk. You jingle, jangle, jingle. I'm sorry. Didn't he ever tell you? My sneak is only 35. So let me just say, I was under sneak leveled for this area. Things were detecting me, and I wasn't even nearby. I feel like they were getting a bonus to their detection because my sneak is so low. It was freaking annoying sometimes.
Yeah. And I'm the opposite. When I need them to, I'll walk right past something, and then all of a sudden the chalk is under attack, and you got to go rescue him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I had been by myself, I probably could have done the whole thing without, ever interacting with anything.
So that is the second or last location, depending on the order you do them. And then the one that I did last is actually kind of a two-part one. So that is Tourist Trap. And there you're going to get 5 lunchbox survival kit thingies, right? No, you're going to get,
five Little Scout lunch boxes.
5 Little Scout lunch boxes and a medical supply kit. So I think essentially you're going to be crafting a bunch of first aid kits for people out of the supplies you get.
Yeah, in the general store, you've got rad scorpions, and that's where you collect the lunch boxes. And then in the ranger station, that's where you'll pick up the medical supplies. When you go there, you'll find that the supplies are expired, and so you've got a couple of choices. If you have a sufficient medical skill, you can repair it and sterilize it. There's liquor in a cabinet outside the room where you find the medical supplies. You can use that to sterilize them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things you can do. Right. I had the alcohol on me.
Yeah, well, but you need specific alcohol. So you need like a vodka and a whiskey and something
Scotch.
else.
I think.
Yeah.
The
and
three
those
that you need are
things
in the fridge
happen to
behind
be
you.
there.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Again, they make it kind of easy if you don't have them. I had them on me, but then I saw them in that fridge after.
The key that you find, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be something like I need to go find 6 cabinets. And it was like, turn around it. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was glad for quest markers, which I don't remember there being quest markers on the Little Scout lunch boxes last time I played. Have there always been?
I don't think so.
I don't recall,
I
but
didn't
yeah,
have any.
that one, I definitely had them this time,
think
but I don't
one
recall.
One of my mods or an update or something, maybe. Because there were little quest markers on the key.
I had quest markers on all 5 of the boxes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you're playing vanilla on Xbox.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe just I never had the quest selected before. That's probably what it was. I probably had the master quest selected and not this one. So I remember spending so much time looking for those lunch boxes and couldn't find them. This time it was easy because there were quest markers. But those giant green geckos, they killed me coming in. They killed me going out.
Oh no.
They were a little tough. I mean, it only took maybe 3 or 4 tries. Like it wasn't that bad. I learned, but they were tougher than I expected. And I had just going in here, I had picked up the recon armor. So I switched finally from my tough leather to recon armor, which was a bad choice. If I had have done combat armor or something where I could have multiples to repair, that would have been good. But already by the time I was here, my armor was probably at like 30% health. So it wasn't even good health. I couldn't repair it fully before going in either because it would be like 9,000 gold to repair. And I don't think Rubenstein has ever had more than like 5,000 caps. So
Need to play more Caravan.
Ugh, no, you don't.
Oh my God, I lost I tried playing the guy in the Legion camp last week, and like his default ante is like 1,700 caps or something. It's ridiculous.
Never
I
trust
lost
a
him
Legionnaire. Never
a couple
trust
times in a row.
Legionnaire.
Yeah.
Bummer.
I know you're good. You're a shark.
Ray's like, yeah, bummer.
I got to get better. But, my weapons are coming along, and it's also just the way I built her, because she has an energy weapons build, so I got all the energy cells I could get going into Zion, too. I went in with about 500 energy cells, I think, because, I had my service rifle, and I had my weathered 10mm still, and then I have a GRA plasma and a GRA laser, which both use fusion cells. But they're one-handed, they're pistols, because I'm a pistol character. And I did okay. I got down into maybe the 300s, but some of the characters you fight, you get a lot of energy cells from. And I think also coming off of the previous quests where we were killing the protectrons and such in the bunker under the fort, got energy cells from them too. So I was in an okay place going in. And also in the survivalist bunker, he likes energy stuff. So I managed to replenish a couple times. So luckily, because my gun skill is like 30 to 34, and my energy weapons is about 60 to 65. So still not even close to max, though. I have not. She's a soft skill character, you know?
Yeah. I've been trying to dump as much as I can into my, my assigned skills. So my guns and sneak are pretty high. I've slacked off on survival. I kind of capped that out at 50.
50 is good. That's good. You got it. It counts. Yeah, I mean, I had energy weapons as one of them, but for whatever reason, I'm just kind of stuck on the fact that she's a soft skill character. So, I was getting locks up to 50 and science and medicine and stuff up to 60, 75, speech up to 75 first. Maybe not the best thing to do to be survivable going to Honest Hearts. I was doing okay until then, though. But anywho, armor. Yeah, so we're just word of warning people. Bring in armor that you can repair. Also, while I was there, by the time I left and hit level 18...
Don't get hit.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're sneaky and all that, yeah, I could help get hit. But I ended up getting, by the end of all these missions, I got jury rigging. So I'm like, yay, I got jury rigging. Now I can finally fix my armor. Nope, nothing I found worked with recon. I don't know what does. I think I made a bad choice there. I'm going to have to switch to combat armor or something. Or Joshua Graham's armor. But that's later. We're ahead of ourselves.
Or just
so you
get
your
Caravan.
I'll let Ray play for me. I'll hand him the controller. No, I love Caravan. I'll get better at it again. I just,
Yeah.
You're not kicked out of the casinos yet. Go hit the strip. Play some blackjack.
Yeah, she's not especially lucky. Calliope, I think she's at like 5 or 6 luck.
Well, you can use her a beverage or something.
Go
maybe
a little
piece of
cleave,
food, a
get
magazine.
Some,
I don't know.
Yeah, her luck is 5. It's okay.
Is there a way to boost
just
special
stick
stats?
with the male dealers?
Exactly.
Is there luck
Use your feminine
clothes?
wiles.
She's got to lean into her strengths, like literally lean on the table.
Lean and shake a little.
But so we get the medical kit and we purify it and we get the scout boxes, and then after you've done all 3 of these, that's when the quest updates to Deliverer of Sorrows, and now the quest goes: bring your supplies you've gotten to Daniel and to the Sorrows in the Narrows, and Follows Chalk will help you get there too.
Deliverer of Sorrows.
I like that name. It made me think of like a Metallica song title or something, but
made me think of like, those weird Catholic churches like Our Lady of Perpetual Sadness or whatever,
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's so when you do get there into this. So, the Narrows, it is it's not just a clever nickname. It's a very narrow, winding path.
Oh,
and as you go through, at some point, there's no loading screen, but it becomes an area that you can't fast travel into and out of, like a town.
I found that very odd.
Yeah, me too.
Then I found out why.
Why?
Oh, it's because you have to have an interaction before they'll let you leave.
Right. Yeah, but even if you have the interaction, it still becomes like that, where it's essentially a town you can't fast travel in and out of.
As soon as I had that interaction, I tried to fast travel and it let me immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it maybe the location you were though? Because you can fast travel from down near where you talk to Daniel at the base. But
I don't know, because they were all walking around, so I didn't know if they were like parked at a certain station or if they're just kind of like constantly roaming around that part of the canyon.
Yeah, because I needed to talk to the chief after I had talked to Daniel, and then talked to Waking
Cloud?
Yeah.
Which,
and
she's the midwife of Sorrows, also a metal name.
Midwife of Sorrows, very.
And so I fast traveled back up to a cave that I had been to before, in that canyon, to go talk to him.
I might have just tried it wrong times.
If you're a melee character or unarmed, I guess. Yeah, unarmed.
You do the quest for the bear thing.
Yeah, you get the good gauntlet quest.
It's a bear claw.
I blew it off because I
perfect for breakfast.
sneaky long range.
It's
Yeah,
not
those are
something
cool
that-
looking gauntlets, though.
It's not something I would use a lot, but it's something I would like to gather. How do you? Is there a specific Yao Guai you have to kill? Have we gotten there? Are we discussing that part yet?
Well, this is a side quest, which we weren't necessarily going to discuss.
Yeah.
You know, people might want to talk. I mean, obviously, if Ray wants to, he can. If he did the quest this time,
I didn't.
did you?
It's like,
And
okay.
it's for what's his name? Is it something bird?
Flip I think.
No, no. Flippy the bird is somebody else entirely.
No, but like, I wanted to collect. But we went to the Yao Guai cave.
White
and we
bird.
did the
White
the collapse, the tunnel, did all that stuff, and I was
Oh no,
expecting
we haven't
there
done
to
any
be-
of that yet. Nope,
Okay.
you're way ahead of us now.
All right, sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But Whitebird is the one who sends us to do the quest for the bear gauntlet. But yeah, so we talked to Daniel, and that's when, he says, you talk to him and you learn about the Starro situation. And that's when Follows Chalk leaves you to go back and help Joshua Graham and the dead horses. And then Waking Cloud becomes your companion. And then you can do stuff all around the town here. So there are a couple quests. There's the Rite of Passage with Whitebird was his name. And I think there are a couple others, right? There's like the Big Horners quest. Did you guys do the Big Horners quest back in the other one where you got to get the baby Big Horner?
Yep,
Back
got
to
to bring
the
it back
smaller?
to the herd.
Yeah, I like that one. You get reputation for that. There are a couple others.
What happens if you keep it? Because I noticed that they let you keep. There's an option to keep the baby bighorner too.
So I didn't do that.
Neither
if
did
anyone
I.
did,
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens.
they would probably follow you back all the way to the tribe and wherever you left Follows Chalk if you left him back there. And then you'd probably get chastised. I don't know. maybe if you brought the calf in, the other big horners would attack, trying to get the calf back.
Oh,
You think?
maybe. I was hoping that it would just follow you forever, wherever. You could just have another companion to roam around with.
Of course, that makes sense for you collecting companions. But yeah, after you talk to Waking Cloud, then Joshua gives you his set of 3 missions. So then Daniel does. So you got 3 from Joshua, and now you get 3 more from Daniel. And this is where your 3 missions are essentially clearing the way and kind of securing things so that the people can escape or attack Zion, depending on the path you take. And so those quests are Grand Stair. Oh, actually, there's 4. So the Advanced Scouts, where you've got to take care of scouts, white leg scouts that are, going to block the way and see people. There's the Treacherous Road, where you take care of white legs that are laying traps and stuff along a bridge. You got to disarm the traps and take care of the white legs. And then there's River Monsters, and that's the one with the giant, Yao Guai and a bunch of smaller ones, and you have to explode the cave or kill the Yao Guai, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what I did, but I didn't end up with the mining charges.
Oh, you didn't get them from Daniel? Whatever the mining charges you needed were?
I think he auto-loaded them into the inventory. I don't think
Yeah,
you
he
had
did
to
for me.
do anything.
Yeah,
Right?
I thought so too, but I
Huh.
never got the indicators to to be able to place them in the cave. It didn't really matter. I had already killed the Yaguai in there.
I was going to say, is it possible that you had already killed the Yao Guai to the point where they didn't need you to blow it up?
Yeah,
It's
maybe
optional?
it did. Yeah, that's possible because I definitely did before I ever started looking for places to place the charges. I had already taken
You
out
killed
the Yaguai.
stuff? Okay, then that's why, yeah, because it's optional, collapse the cave, but otherwise just deal with the Yao Guai at Pine Creek. So after, another thing that happens here, okay, because you can do stuff, like I said, around the camp. I wish there was a place to buy and sell here, though. Is there one in the Narrows? Because I couldn't find one in the
Yes.
Sorrows camp.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
I didn't.
I remembered there being one
was
there.
it?
I know Joshua will buy and sell from
Yeah,
you in the
Joshua
Dead Horse
was
camp.
was the one vendor I found in the place. I think, right?
Okay.
Daniel
Yeah.
won't sell, will he?
No, he didn't buy and sell, and neither did Whitebird. It's funny. I remembered there being someone who did, but I couldn't find them. I did wander around a bit. It's a bit of a maze. I think they do that on purpose because for the Whitebird quest, you have to get to 3 locations across all these bridges and ramps and peaks and such. But yeah, I explored a bit, but I didn't explore it fully.
Yeah,
So I
and there
wasn't
was
sure.
one other one, right? Grand Staircase. That's
Yeah,
the one
and
where
then
you
Grand
go into the
Staircase
cave.
is the 4th, and that's the one where you got to get basically a map of the grand staircase, which is where you're going to escape to. Now, on all these, so we just talked about river monsters, and that's where you have to, stop Yaguai and their cubs who are attacking people. The entire area levels up after you talk to Daniel. He even mentions, now that you've disrupted things, there are going to be more white leg scouts out there. Well, oh my God, there are. A lot more white leg parties on top of the place you got to go to. But there are freaking cazadors. Nobody told me there was going to be cazadors. That was a real surprise.
No, thank you.
Exactly. Damn, Daniel. You didn't say there were cazadors. But they can mob you. If you get two of them on you, I was not prepared. Because, like I said, she's not a super fighty character. By the time this happened, I was hitting probably level 16. But it was still difficult. And I kept losing. I lost Waking Cloud a bunch. She got stuck a lot. When I even had Joshua later, I lost him in the river. He was taking a bath the whole time I was doing the last quest.
Yeah, this was another instance where, your companion is unconscious over and over because of cazadors.
Feeling a little woozy, they are too. Yeah, so I died a few times. I died outside the Yaguai cave. I died to cazadors at the bridge a couple times. They mob you, and they can do a lot of damage before you know it. Even some of these white legs, they can do some real damage with the ones with the machine gun, the thunder drum ones.
The one with the varying names, you could tell you're getting into higher level ones, yeah.
Right. Like the Mantis gauntlets weren't that bad. The ones with the little Chucky tomahawks, they were tough if they hit you too many times, but they weren't bad. But the ones with the thunder drums were just.
You guys ever successfully done a throwing weapons character in any of these games?
Fallout 76.
Yeah. What were you?
When we first got the cleavers, played with them for a bit. They were wicked fun. They were doing some major damage too for a little bit. But I never had a character specialize in them, but I used them for a bit.
They seem like that's been a thing for a long time, and I don't know anyone who's ever been like, yeah, man, I'm a throwing knives specialist, because it seems like such a badass thing to be invest in ninja and sneak and throwing
great
knives.
In Cyberpunk.
Someone's got to tell Bethesda to stop trying to make fetch happen.
That is so fetch. Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
Because it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So after I talked to Daniel when I was heading out of the canyon to go do these quests, I got stopped by Joshua. And he's like, dude, you got to talk this guy into fighting.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say, all right, fine. I'll talk to him later.
He gave you a big old biblical passage about sacrificing children and stuff. Right? I don't know where the passage was.
Yeah, that was intense.
But it was something about, if the Lord orders us to blah, blah, blah. I don't remember the speech. I'm not even going to try. Yeah. I don't believe it was blah, blah, blah. It was something much more biblical.
I think he said blah, blah, blah.
He is such an intense character. Yeah, so I think so if you have a repair skill of 30 or more, the bear traps on the bridge are easy enough to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
My perception is high enough. I haven't taken an implant for perception, but I'm pretty high, and so I was seeing the markers for the red legs when they were clear on the other side of the river from me, and so was able to take them out at long range.
Oh God, I so could not with my laser pistol. I had to get up close and personal. By the time I was close enough to really hit them, they were already shooting me. Every time. The sneak was no good with these guys.
Yeah, I would be really surprised if I had taken any damage whatsoever in all of Zion. I certainly never healed, but with as sneaky as I was, and as good as the Rat Slayer is at even as we get into harder characters, when you get, I think I'm getting 2.5 times damage on shots. It doesn't take much, and even if I do, like when I was doing the camps, where you'd have 3 or 4 the white legs in a camp. I could find a rock to get up on top of and shoot them, and they never could find me.
Nice. So you definitely had the superior tactics. It is, I will say, I do feel it's a difficult place if you're lower level or you're not spec'd for combat, and probably if you're not spec'd for stealth, because they can do a lot of damage, and there are a lot of them there. Also, for this quest specifically that you were talking about with the bridge, it was essentially you could optional, take out the white legs who are planting the traps. You had to clear the traps. I did the optional, and I chased them halfway across the map because they were running. The white legs I was supposed to get, they were running, and I'm like chasing them, and I lost a weakened cloud on the way, and by the time I found them, I caught up with them right around where, the other bridge is, the other big bridge. And at that point, there were cazadors there again. So it was a very bad scene.
To enhance your sneak even more, I think the cloud follower guy gives you his follower perk is, makes opponents even less perceptive, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a sneak based trait.
They had no hope of seeing you.
No.
Is that Waking Clouds perk? Sorry, I'm checking right now.
It was one of them. I don't remember which guy, but there was one of them that definitely said it decreases the perception of all your enemies while he's following you.
I think that must have been Waking Cloud, because I'm pretty sure Follows Chalk was the one where when you look at things from the top of a cairn, you would find more locations.
It's a quest marker, right? Or not quest marker, but locations.
Yeah, my sneak is 100. I'm just looking at my sheet.
I'm 35. Big 35. Not high enough.
I think guns might be 100 as well.
Yeah, the name of her perk is Quiet as the Waters, it looks like. And -3 reduction to all the white legs.
Yeah, my guns are 100 as well.
-2, what'd you say? -2 perception?
-3 perception.
-3 perception, wow.
Which is good, for sure. But not good enough.
I wonder what
Unlike Red, I don't have any
is.
implants to help me sneak.
Well, no, I just don't have a perception implant.
Oh.
I got plenty of implants.
Yep. So you finish these 3 quests again. And you get the map. So you got to get the map, which another difficult location, but you find it, and then you clear out the white legs and all that, and you got to get back to Daniel.
That's a cave full of your little spitty friends.
Right. Oh yeah. So it's funny because I think it's Waking Cloud who has the thing about the plants that she repeats all the time, right?
Right.
Like where did these plants come from, or where did these creatures come from? We have plants that spit and eat people and move and eat people, which is of course it's all a Vault 22 reference. The idea is that the mantises and the spitting plants and all that came from Vault 22 and got spread. But yeah, so that kind of brings us to the survivalist cage for that last item. Cave. Although cage too, actually, you gotta, unlock it to get in, I suppose. Yeah. But you can find multiple of his locations throughout, and that's a whole nother story quest line, which we'll let somebody talk about. In fact, it's funny. John and a few people were mentioning in chat and in the Discord the other day that we need to do a terminal velocity for the survivalist, which I'm pretty sure we did one last playthrough like 3-4 years ago. We should pull out whoever did that and play it, because those are some good terminal entries. But the whole lore of the survivalist, if you go through all his terminals, different locations, get his story, he essentially, he escaped up here, and he's an older man, and he was trying to survive, finding a reason to go on. And he finds that in the Sorrows, where he kind of becomes the man in the cave. So when they talk about the father in the cave as part of their religion, they've actually kind of combined, like mixed the new Canaanite religion and their religion with the legends passed down by the people of the father in the cave, who was him watching out for them. Because when the Sorrow's ancestors first arrived in Zion, they were just kids. It's like a little lamplight situation. They were supposedly from some kind of home. What did they call it? The farm, I think they called it. And they were between like 8 and 14, well, like maybe the oldest ones. And so Randall Clark, the survivalist, found them, and he nudged them in certain directions, left them things, and helped them learn to survive without actually ever exposing himself, exposing technology and all that. So he tried to protect their innocence. But there's a lot more of that in the terminals. I didn't read them all this time. I should have. I remember the story from before, but I didn't actually re-go over it for this. I only read a few of them. But he, of course, had the map to the grand staircase.
Sounds like a code word for...
It's just a location. So, all of this is in Zion National Park, right? Like, they call this area Zion, but it's larger than just what we see here. But the grand staircase is a slightly wilder area, they said. So I'm looking it up real quick, actually. Let's Google that stuff. Yeah, the grand staircase is a remarkable geological formation. Extends from Zion National Park through to the Grand Canyon. So it's just an area of land that's a little bit rougher than the park itself that you're in.
And what are is there any connection to Joshua Tree? Is that in Utah? Where is that? Is that California?
That's in California.
That's in California. How about, what was the other thing I was thinking of? Oh, Burning Man. Like, because they call Joshua the Burning Man, right? And there's that, like...
The Burning Man Festival?
Like, is there any connection there?
No, but I love it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the Burning Man Festival, though, that's in Nevada. So, I mean, you're in the right area, right?
I was just trying to think
like
of things in the Southwest. I don't know. I've never really been there.
It's
that
like
much.
a week-long event where it's kind of like a rave. It's not so. There's Wasteland Weekend, which is a full post-apocalyptic event. Burning Man is more like a rave music event where a lot of people show up and they set up camp. And the big thing is the burning of the Burning Man effigy, which is how it got its name.
Yeah, I've seen.
They're not
of
burning
that.
Joshua Graham.
Yeah. Oh, they're not burning mummies. Burning Mummies is my metal band.
It's funny. So when you're traveling with Joshua later, which we're about to do, I kept thinking with him getting stuck in the river, like how soaked his bandages would be. Like
He's
he'd
soggy.
just be soft
You know
and
how
wet.
moldy he gets? Ew, he stinks.
Yeah, like me and my wet Q-tip buddy over here. Gross.
Ew, soggy.
So when you get back to Daniel, and you've had time to think on what Joshua told you and all that, you essentially have to, at this point, turn everything in and decide which path you're going to take. Did you clear the route so that you guys could attack the White Legs, as Joshua wants? Keep them, drive them out of Zion, stop them from taking over, and probably remove Salt Upon Wounds? Or do you want to do what Daniel would prefer and, keep the Sorrows from having to fight and let them, along with the dead horses, retreat as best you can and move to the grand staircase? But that would necessitate giving up Zion Valley to the White Legs, which of course, they don't want, but probably more people would live, which is Daniel's more concerned about protecting their innocence and having as many live as possible. So you have to make those two choices.
But then Joshua
'cause
brings up
he
the
did-
fact that just because you move out of the valley does not mean that they're going to stop there. They will continue to pursue you to wherever the fuck you go. So you have to make a stand at some point, and why not here? Why not now?
Yeah, and Daniel doesn't want them to become a warring tribe.
Right.
He wants them to
Yes.
remain peaceful and
Because they're very peaceful. Like they we talk about innocence or whatever, like it's just kind of the word that Randall Clark used in his stuff. But essentially, yeah, they're peaceful and they're not warlike, which so many groups in the Wasteland are, of course, right? Because we're constantly fighting everything to survive.
That
Whereas
is
they
the
hunt.
tenement of the
Sure,
wasteland,
but
right?
it's different. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I totally sided with Joshua.
Yeah.
Of course.
I did not. So Andrew and Ray both did the Crush the White Legs quest
Yes.
to side with Joshua. And I did the, what is it called? Escape from Zion?
Run with your tail between
Flight
your
from
legs.
Zion.
Yeah, it's called
Yes, I did the run with my tail between my legs. To see how that
Pussyfooting
one went.
away, they call that one.
So
What happens then?
for those of you, well, I'll do it quick then, because I think a lot of it's kind of the same as far as the steps you take along the way. So if you're doing Flight from Zion, you get 3 optional quests pop up. So essentially, you and Joshua start out, and you're right at the edge of the Narrows. And the idea is to make it to not Big Ben Tunnel, whatever is the East Tunnel, well, whatever it's called, where people are trying to leave. You've got to help any sorrows you can along the way. Take out the enemy, and make it to the tunnel to help them escape. You get 3 quests that pop up, basically, the optional quests. What are they? I didn't write these ones down. I think it's Prisoners of War, which is taking out Whitelegs at 2 different outpost locations, ranger camp locations, and freeing the Sorrows. Retake the bridge, where you've got to take out a bunch of Whitelegs who trapped and set on the other bridge, the bridge going across the canyon. And there's a lot of them there. And then Sanctity of the Dead, where there are some Whitelegs defacing burial ground for the Sorrows. And you've got to stop them from doing that.
Oh, that's
so
not nice.
You've got to fight your way through, take out those groups, get all 3 of those quests done, and then make it all the way to the Eastern Tunnel.
Good
I think it's
Lord.
the East Fork Bridge and the Pine Creek Tunnel. That's the name of it, not Big Bend. Pine Creek Tunnel.
How are you people doing this in like 3 or 4 hours? This is crazy.
There's a lot to it. Yeah. Like I said, it took me about 5 or 6 hours, probably total in Zion. Probably 6 hours, if I'm being realistic. But I did it all this week.
It does go really quick, though.
It was quicker than, like I said, I remember it being quicker than I thought it was, but not as quick as I thought it might be. Yeah, it's kind of in the middle.
I kind of feel like I'm rushing to complete it, though, but is there a lot more side questing and stuff? I feel like I'm ignoring a lot of that sort of stuff.
I think that's what it is that there's not as much
Okay.
side stuff as I remembered. The side stuff is exploration. So if you play it like you do the regular, main Fallout game or most of the maps, and you see an empty triangle, you're like, I want to find what that location is, right? And so you're exploring, you find the location. But as far as actual side quests, there are only a couple. There's, maybe 2 with the dead horses, 2 with the Sorrows, and then like just kind of lore-based quest stuff for the survivalist stuff. And
I wouldn't want to manifest this into my life, but I couldn't help but thinking, we're running around here in this river. Where are all the damn like mirelurks and lake lurks and water creatures and the river monsters? Like they literally had a quest called River Monster, and I was like, uh-oh, here come the mirelurks, and it was about bears. I'm like, no, those aren't river monsters. I guess technically if they're hunting salmon, they could be river monsters.
And they live along the river, and they're monstrous.
They do.
I think I had enough. I didn't need more enemies.
No lake
mantises
lurks,
and cazadors and mole ratties.
The cazadors are enough. No, thank you.
Oh yeah, Lee mentions the water isn't even radioactive. That's true. That was different.
Hey, you're right. Where's the water source coming from? What river are we in?
I don't know. I don't remember the name of the river.
What river runs through? What park do you say we're in? Zion
National Park. Yeah. I mean, there are probably a couple, right?
I think they tell us the name of the rivers. Actually, as we're walking through the areas.
Follows Chalk says a lot.
The Virgin River, right? I remember them saying that.
Oh, that's why it's the Eastern Virgin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And the formations, right? The Narrows. Yep. All of these things are.
So it's all the Virgin River, basically.
Yep. The North and East Forks of.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Now, when you choose to side with Joshua, he starts you all the way up at the Sorrows camp, and you have to walk all the way down to the Whitelegs camp, and it's through a river canyon. And there's, he sends, there's a couple of Whitelegs and a couple of Sorrows and a couple of dead horses that go with you, along with Joshua. And, you're taking out the Whitelegs as you go, but then there's a big explosion and the river's blocked.
Mm-hmm. And
he wants you to go off on your own to find a way through. He's going to go a different way.
Right.
And so then you wind your way through and end up in the Whitelegs camp. And Joshua already has Salt Upon Wounds.
Who's their leader?
Down on his knees. And so, at this point, you've basically got 2 choices. One is either let Joshua kill him, or you can give him a chance at a fair fight, and have Joshua let him go, and then kill him.
Now, did you find it difficult to get there? Like after the explosion, where you take your own way and you go through, like was this difficult for you at all, Ray, or was it not bad?
No, it's not bad. I mean, it's still pretty linear. You're just going through a canyon, and occasional white legs are there to ambush you, but if you've got a sneak of 100, they never see you coming.
Right. Yeah.
And so it was really no problem to go through there.
Now, before we get to what you did with Joshua, or how that actually ended up with him and Salt Upon Wounds, Andrew, I'm seeing in chat some people got a little lost on the way here.
Uh-oh.
How did you handle the navigation when you had to split off and do your own thing?
Hadn't been there yet.
You haven't done this.
Just dropped off.
Okay. So you started the stuff with Joshua at the end and you saved it there?
Yep, that's where I am. I'll complete it probably tomorrow.
No,
I was rushing.
sense.
I was trying to get it done. I just couldn't get it done.
So I know that there are a couple ways you can take with this. I mean, you can essentially, Joshua can kill him right away. You can do the whole fair fight execution thing, but can't you also spare him?
Oh, I might have ignored that option.
Okay, so people listening, I think there's an option to spare Salt Upon Wounds if you want to. And it will change the way that it kind of changes Joshua's story arc, depending upon how you do it in your final slide there. Believe it or not, you can do the same thing on the escape too. So even if you're doing the flight from Zion, when you get to the final location at Pine Creek Pass or tunnel, after you kill the last couple white legs in that area and you help the stars out there, you have an encounter with Salt Upon Wounds again too. And either if you don't immediately attack him, you can talk to him, and you'll either fail a speech check and you'll have to fight, or because I am good at speech at least, you can actually persuade him to duel you one-on-one, or you can tell him to get out of here. And I chose the telling him to get out of here option, and I said, go away. I've already crushed your warriors. Retreat or die in obscurity, and and stop fighting. And he essentially says, we will never stop fighting, but he runs off. And so,
yeah, you have to have a speech of 90 to be able to persuade Joshua not to kill him.
I only need a 75 for the speech check on the way out. That's a lower
that's
one.
Just to get him to get Joshua to reconsider.
Yeah, so I guess it's different. If we don't do the crush, there's no Joshua considering or reconsidering anything like that. It's just you and him, as opposed to the other way.
So I gave him the fair fight.
Mm-hmm. And you won.
But it wasn't really.
It wasn't that fair. I mean,
because I immediately slipped away to a higher spot and was able to just snipe him.
I love the idea that you're like fair fight, and then you immediately slip into the shadows,
yeah.
Pull out your sniper, and just do it.
Yeah.
Hey, he had the same option. He didn't take it. It's on him.
Well, sure. Yeah.
So yeah,
I
did.
Didn't have to be a jerk in the first place and try to, take over the area.
I did regret not taking him out. I mean, if anyone deserved to, all the white legs attacking here, but especially Salt Upon Wounds, who are who's the one who led them to be so warlike and created on this. Yeah. I mean, he got his name partly, like he supposedly salted the land around New Canaan so nothing would grow there too. That's, I think, how he got his name, if I remember correctly. Or like one of the areas he did is part of why he has their name. But yeah, so anyway, when I finished mine in and I talked to Daniel, he got mad at me. Because if you don't do all three options, he'll say, are you sure you're ready to go? Did we help everyone? And if you say yes, and you didn't do all three quests, he's like, you let them die. And you let some of them die. And he gets very mad at you. Well, it turns out the one quest I didn't do was the defacing the graves. I said, I don't have time for this. It's late. And I figured they would deface the graves after we left anyway. Well, I think maybe there's some sorrows there that if you stop them, you can also rescue them. So yeah, I have mad Daniel in mind, but I might go back and reload because I finished it out and went through the thing. I got my end slides with what happened with all the different groups and stuff like that, Waking Cloud and Follows Chalk and all of them. And then you get the chest, and you get, as a reward, you get Joshua's armor, you get Daniel's hat and Daniel's outfit, You get Follows Chalk's hat. You get a couple of the various, unique items from the characters you played with.
To get Daniel's face wrap.
See, that's the one thing you don't get, I don't think. We didn't get a face wrap, did we? No.
Mm.
We actually wait. Hold on. So we get scripture.
Joshua. That's what I meant.
We get-
Joshua's face.
Yeah, Joshua Rams. Yeah.
We get Salt Upon Wounds Power Fist. We get his helmet, his cool bitey helmet thing. You get Joshua's armor, Daniel's outfit and hat, Chalk's headdress, and a light shining in darkness, which is a special 45 auto pistol, which is probably Joshua's 45 auto pistol. Which that's the thing that his tribe was known for with the New Canaanites too, is that they were all specialists with the 45, which is why that weapon was introduced along with a bunch of mods.
Yeah, and that Salt Upon Wounds helmet is pretty good. It gives you a +2 crit chance and a +5 sneak.
That is nice.
And I think it's like four damage threshold too. It's a decent DR. Yeah. But
4's great. For
downside is
yeah.
you look like a dork.
Yeah, it is definitely weird looking. So my main goal for this whole DLC was to get Joshua Graham's armor.
I was thinking about wearing it. I mean, I feel weird wearing his armor, but it seems pretty good.
Well, so it ups my crit chance by 3%. And
it's light. It's light armor.
You get so my spacesuit is 10 DT and weighs 7 pounds. This is 15 DT and only weighs 8 pounds.
So it's well worth it. It's
so
well
it's a
worth
good
it.
trade-off. So now I'm wearing this armor instead of my spacesuit.
I think I might switch to it. What can you repair it with though? Because like my recon suit, like I said, I can't repair it with pretty much anything.
Yeah, I think powder ganger armor.
Okay, that's pretty. You can find that a couple of places. I mean, obviously around the powder gang area, but you can get some.
Yeah, and if you have jury rigging, any light armor
Oh,
can be
okay.
used.
That's 100 times better than recon armor. Recon armor
Yeah.
is the worst. I made a bad choice there. I mean, my armor broke. By the way, this whole last time, by the end of it, my armor was broken. So I was fighting armorless for a lot of it.
That makes it a whole lot harder, dude.
Yeah, and my laser pistol. The only thing I could repair my laser pistol with jury picking, jury rigging.
Jury picking.
Jury picking is different. It's when you like go to the buffet and you like mix and match some weird ass things to make a casserole. But no, jury rigging. The only thing I could repair it with was my plasma pistol. So like my other good gun, I could repair with my good gun. Like it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
But that is basically the DLC, and then you get the end of the story and all that, and what happened with them based on your decisions.
Beautiful.
Whether they kept the Zion Valley and the Sorrows maybe became a little bit more warlike because of their experiences, or they retreated and they were safe in the Grand Staircase. The way you did certain things in side quests with Follows Chalk and Waking Cloud would kind of change how they do things. Waking Cloud, if you tell her about her husband or not, will make a difference. Follows Chalk, I don't know if anything makes a difference with him or not. He's younger. The Bighorn thing might, but I did that. I'm not positive. And then, of course, what happened with the White Legs after that, whether or not Salt Upon Wounds lived, what happened with the Valley if they stayed there, and, of course, Joshua's disposition, depending upon whether you let him execute Salt Upon Wounds or not, and maybe whether or not you spared him. And Daniel's not happy no matter what you do. Like even if you help the Sorrows escape, Daniel's still not exactly happy. So, yeah. He's a mopey boy. He's a sad boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I spent 0 energy trying to please him.
I probably should have. Like I said, I might redo the ending to get that one thing I missed. See if it makes a difference. Or I might go all the way back right before that, because that's my last save right before it, and take out Salt Upon Wounds. I don't know if I will or not, because, I mean, this is my story, and I'm sticking to it. But I do feel like with the amount of time that I had, it was limited, and I definitely rushed it.
And you're gonna have a heck of a time with no armor.
That's true. I really don't want to do that
broken,
again.
Ray gun.
Yeah. It was bad. It was bad. And people's damage threshold, my stupid laser pistol, Even though I've got like 3 mods on it, it's got boosted damage and sights and recycler. It's got all the things, but the actual damage does is so low that it's like ping, 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 ping. Like the little green geckos, they lose maybe like 3% health each hit, maybe 5. Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew. Exactly. But that's pretty much it. And Andrew, you'll finish soon enough.
Yeah, I'll get her done this weekend. Get her done.
And then next week, we're going to hear people's feedback on these missions. And of course, if you focus more on the side missions or exploration or any cool location, let us know. We'd love to hear that about your character because I know it's a lot of quests. That's why the overview is kind of good for this one. And then we are going to deal with the boomers next week. Or 2 weeks from now. Mm-hmm.
Explosive ants. Watch out. Even
though I'm Yes Man, Mr. House is still alive for me. Like I said, I was keeping him alive because of the TV show and all that. But Yes Man and I will be taking over soon enough.
What have you already done the pop open the back room thing already?
Pop open the back room.
And find him in his incubator, etc.?
No, I'm keeping him alive.
No, I'm saying if you were going to kill him, would have you already passed that spot?
No,
I don't
you can do
remember
it
when
anytime.
that happens.
You can overthrow him at any time. Yep, you don't have to get in the partnership. Now, the way I did it might actually be tougher because if you do upgrade the Securitrons, it should mean that some of the ones defending there are going to be level 2 Securitrons now.
They're going to have the rocket launchers, Jess. What are you doing? Yeah. Oh, no.
I'm dying. I'm going to wear Joshua Graham's armor, and I'm level 18 now, so I'm tougher.
Bring something other than your laser pew-pew and upgrade your armor, or at least bring something to repair it with.
Well, I also don't wear a helmet or a hat because it messes up my hair in this game.
Well, style is important.
Style is important. You know what I mean? When I'm there in the kill cam gritting my teeth, I want to look good.
Kill cam in this game. Oh, God. Let me skip out. B. Back out. Come on. Doesn't work. And
no, it doesn't.
You can't cancel VATS if you have like 8 shots loaded up.
Yeah.
They're like forever away, and you're like, oh, shit. Just cancel that. Cancel. It won't cancel. It'll take all 8 shots. Fuck.
I haven't even. I did take a lot of pictures. I took a few in Zion. I took a bunch last week, but I haven't even looked at them and gone through them.
I do like all the cave art and the what's the really tall guys that looks like Slender Man almost. What's that about? Do you know any of the why any of the cave drawings are the way they are?
No, not really. Some of them depict certain things, but
it's really neat. I do like that art.
Oh, boom! You know, Calliope looks pretty good in the White Legs armor. I can't believe I'm calling her Boobenstein now because they keep calling her that in chat. I mean, that is her name, but still. But I will say that I thought this armor was pretty fetching on her. It's a good look.
Good look.
Mm-hmm. And more defensive than the broken recon armor.
Broken, yeah. Because it's just not broken, maybe.
Despite the exposed midriff.
Well, she's Boobenstein after all. All right. It sounds like that is our quest for this week. Again, excited to hear from everyone's feedback next week. Let's get into it. Tell us all the interesting side stuff you guys are getting into. 5-minute feedback to the Fallout feed at gmail.com. If you're listening and you'd like to hop in for the first time, hey, new DLC is a great time to do it. Go ahead. Let's hear from you. All right, guys. Let's see. Up next, it looks like we have, what are we going into? Probably, Game Time and Iguana Bit. So let's, it's not super long, but we'll have a new fun game here on Game Time.
What time is it? Game time!
So, Jess, earlier I heard you talking about titles.
Like idle positions?
You were like, yay,
like
I'm
the
level
idols, like
12. No, titles. Like, I just reached level 12, so I just reached, Gunslinger of the Apocalypse.
Yeah, Calliope was neutral at level 13 or 14, so she was like a Mojave myth. And then she finally switched over to Good Karma at level 14, and I went to Shield of Hope.
Shield of Hope. Wow. See, these are just crazy. I have no idea what any of these mean or anything. But all right, so Ray and Jess, we have a new game this week, and it's going to be called Order Up.
Adam and Eve on a raft. Sink 'em and make 'em cry with a hot blonde in the sand. Order up.
So, order up is basically I'm just making you guys put stuff in the right order. Okay?
Okay.
So, you're mentioning these titles. Let's put these titles in the correct order. I have a list of all these titles, the first 10, because there's 30 different titles for each good, bad, and neutral. First, I didn't know that. I was like, oh my God, look at all these fucking titles. There's tons of them. And so, what I have is just a list in a jumbled order, and I'm going to post them in our little chat here on the side. And then I want you guys to just bounce back and forth, taking turns, putting them in the correct order. We're going to play some order up. All right. So, Ray, I would like for you to go first. If you look at our chat here on the side, our list says Defender, Protector, Peacekeeper, Samaritan, Exemplar. Is that how you pronounce that? I don't know if I've seen that word pronounced in the noun form before.
Exemplar, yeah, for sure.
Exemplar. Okay. The Ranger of the Wastes.
Good one.
Dignitary, Sentinel, Desert Avenger, and Martyr. Those are the first 10 ranks in the good. If you're got good karma, those are the first 10 ranks. So, bouncing back and forth between Ray and Jess, we're going to build this list. We're going to build it the order
You're
up.
just going to keep saying wrong over and over again?
I'm just going to say no. Next one. Guess. All right, Ray, you're up first. Do you have any idea what the first rank is if you're a good karma?
I'm going to type the list into our notes while we do it.
I can.
No, I mean as we guess them.
Oh, as you guess them. Yep, that's good. Good job.
All right. So normally I would have thought it was Defender, but you put it first on the list, so there's no way that could be.
Or
was it?
Yeah, you're right. It's not.
So I'm gonna go with Martyr.
Martyr,
it's the last one on the list.
Very close. Jess, do you have a guess?
Let's go with Dignitary.
Dignitary? No. Okay.
I know which one it is.
Okay, go ahead. Go with it.
Well, no. I mean, Ray next, right?
All right. Ray, what's the first one? Do you have another guess?
Let's
build them.
Well, okay. Let me see if you were trying to fool me the first time. So, Defender.
No, I was not. I was not trying to fool.
It's got to be Samaritan.
Samaritan
right?
is, because good Samaritan, right. Get it?
Okay.
Good reference. Okay, Jess, you got Good Samaritan there. All right, and Ray, we're back to you, and I'll give you a hint.
I think Ray already said it.
This one has already been said, yes.
Yep.
So Martyr?
Yes, Martyr is correct. That is back to you, Jess.
Defender.
Ooh, so close. That's number 4. I'll give you that. Ray, do you know number
4? Giving us a bonus there. Okay.
You know number 3, Ray? Comes before Defender. Do you think these are ranked in order of like importance or something? Why did they choose the order they put them in?
Completely arbitrary. Like they're trying to make them, sound cooler or more official as you go.
Peacekeeper, not quite right. That's a little further down the list at 6.
Okay, let's go with.
What you got at 3?
3 would be Protector. No, that's after Defender. Okay. You again, Ray. It's not Peacekeeper. It's not Protector. And it wouldn't be Sentinel, right? So that leaves us.
So what have we already gotten? We got
Samaritan is 1. Martyr is 2. Defender is 4.
And then you can also cross out ones that you've pitched out that.
Yep.
I've said no to.
So it's got to be like Peacekeeper or something.
No. I know you said Peacekeeper. I said no to that one. And Dignitary.
So Dignitary?
No, not Dignitary.
I thought that was right. I was already typing it even. Okay. So Exemplar.
No, not Exemplar.
We've said all but like 2 of them now, and there's no way it's Ranger of the Waste already.
No, not Ranger of the Waste. It's that last one. It's actually one that you just said, well, it wouldn't be that.
It's your turn, Ray. Do you know?
I mean, what haven't we said? Desert Avenger?
Yeah, it's not that one. It must be Sentinel.
It is Sentinel. Number 3, Sentinel. Number 4, Defender. Back to number 5.
Can we just go to Protector? No,
Protector is 8.
that doesn't help.
I'm just so confused as to the order they put these in.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to start typing them in, and we'll make up our own order. So I think after Defender, Peacekeeper should happen. I think it should be Peacekeeper next.
It's very close. They have Dignitary next, and then Peacekeeper.
I don't get Dignitary. Like, out of all these, I don't understand. Because when I hear Dignitary, I picture like a liaison, like in Star Trek.
Right.
Yeah, visiting Dignitary.
Yeah, representative from a foreign nation, of course. Yeah, exactly. And then after that was number 6, Peacekeeper, and Ranger of the Waste.
And again, Ranger of the Waste sounds like it might be a little bit more up there. You know what I mean? You've got multiple letters in the title.
Yeah, that should be a number 10 at least. That sounds like a lone.
Okay.
Super good.
So that's number 7, which means number 8 is Exemplar.
Nope. Got just the 3 left here with Desert Avenger, Exemplar, and
what was it, Protector?
Protector is 8.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
then,
I thought you had already given us the number on that one.
Yeah, maybe I did. And last 2, Desert Avenger number 9.
As number 9 and Exemplar number 10.
So the correct order: Samaritan, Martyr, Sentinel, Defender, Dignitary, Peacekeeper, Ranger of the Wastes, Protector, Desert Avenger, and Exemplar.
That was probably not a great game for you to listen to.
It was probably not. I
mean, thank goodness it's Jess's fault that we played that.
Totally my fault. You know what? If this is the Will version, it would have been high-low. Is Exemplar higher in level or lower than Ranger?
Oh yeah,
of
that
the
would have been
Waste?
a better way to do it. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll do that next time. We'll
do that next time. We'll do a high-low,
Yeah.
and that way we don't have to keep trying to figure it out over and over again.
Yeah. All right, guys. Sorry for this week's edition of Game Time.
What time is it? Game time!
Woo! All right. Looks like we got some iguana bits.
Jessica, to the office, please. Jessica, to the office. Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up. Well, I'm glad the iguana bits are ready because we don't have too many of them. It's kind of a scant iguana bit sort of plate today. So looking ahead at the community calendar for January, what is on the menu? Nothing. Nothing is on the menu for the next week, y'all. Nothing. We have Mothman Equinox coming up in a week and a half.
All right.
But this week, nothing. Just catch your fishes. Catch your charcoal axolotl or whatever it is you're going for this month. Then,
Charcoxolotl.
as far as actual Fallout news, well, there was a little bit of news today. So, first of all, there was a small update on the 20th earlier this week. And it was just some armor and camp fixes and a few challenges, stuff that had been not working quite right. So they got that in. But they just put out an article earlier today, like around even I think it was 3 or 4 p.m. So I haven't even read the whole thing yet, but I did get it bookmarked. Let me just pull that up real quick. Okay, they say we wanted to share news on an upcoming update team is working on to address some topics. We are currently planning for the February update to address the following. The build menu appearing empty due to a skin applied to the camp module. Yeah, that's something went wrong with the last update, whereas if you had a skin on your camp module, you know how you can give it different skins? It wouldn't work. So you can't have that. The new category, one of the best things in the Pip-Boy right now, the new category is not working 100%. Picking up new stuff they're not all showing. The grunt hunts and head hunts are only giving us 1-star enemies instead of full enemies right now. A lot of gold bullion items aren't appearing, and cryo status effects aren't working. So basically, this little patch update they gave us earlier this week, a lot of things are wrong. A couple of these have been a little bit longer, but a lot of them just happened. Beyond that, they're going to be doing some actual good changes there, where they're adding a new legendary mod to the raid. They are giving us some new mods for the Dom Pedro, which I feel like everybody likes right now. Oh, it broke Rando's snowball gun. I'm sorry, Rando. Lame. But the Dom Pedro now has a reflex sight and a long barrel mod too. I feel like everybody's using the Dom Pedro. That's the Ghoul's gun. And the weekly raid challenge is being discontinued. So yeah, if things seem like they've been off for you this week, it's because they are. Let's see. What else do you have in Iguana Bits? Really, that's it for Fallout. We got no new news. No new update, 100 gig limit for Fallout 4. That's still not happening. We don't know. We don't know when that's coming. No Starfield
No.
update announcement. We don't know when that's happening.
By the end of the year.
You know, I would actually, and don't quote me on this unless you want to, I think we're going to get news by Valentine's Day. I think they're going to tell us within a month. At least, if not an exact roadmap, they'll let us know when the first update or patch is coming or the DLC or give us more info. I think it'll be by Valentine's Day in a month. I shouldn't say that. It's not going to happen now, is it?
No.
January 2027.
Yeah.
And-
No, I don't think they know yet. So
Silly was asking if they're still on holiday vacation. No, they are not. The way that Bethesda shutdown works and, vacations, people coming back, while some people take an extra week or so, they're usually all back by the second week of January for the most part. I mean, as far as like officially as a company.
yeah, they may be on holiday, but they're not on vacation.
But we did get some news about Xbox this week. The Xbox Direct did happen. Some people thought there might be news about Starfield there and stuff, or, about a Fallout 3 remaster, but those people were foolish, as we know. So at the Xbox Direct, what we did get was information on Forza coming up, Forza Horizon 6, set in Japan, a deeper dive on that. We got a wonderful deep dive on Fable, which it was already my most anticipated game of the year, but now Fable is, it's in my top 5 series. I love the series. And this new Fable, except for the fact that it's third person, so Ray won't play it, it looks like a fantastic sandbox life sim RPG. Got everything we're looking for. One of the things that's great about it is the fact that, like Skyrim, it's got a little bit of everything. You can craft, quest, own properties, romance people, do all kinds of things, and it's got that coming again in Fable. It looks amazing, but it's third person, so Ray probably won't play it.
Nope.
So we got
It
info on
did
that.
look good though. I will give it that.
Wasn't it pretty? I love the fairy tale aspect of it, the way that they do that. It's different than pretty much any other fantasy out there, at least like large fantasy RPG in that aspect. And you can create and design your own character now too, which is really cool, because in past Fable games you were stuck. You could choose if you're a boy or girl, and that was it. Then your appearance is kind of based on your outfits you could wear and your morality, how you grew as a person. Like if you leveled up your will, your strength, or your skill, it would change like how tall you are, how muscular you are, how much you glow with magic, stuff like that. And then your karma, because there's karma in there, the eye in the sky, as Andrew calls it, you would eventually get devil horns if you were bad enough, or wings if you were good enough, and a halo. And they're not doing that for this game, but you can still, get outfits to match the alignment you want to be, and you can design your character now, which honestly I think is probably better. Like I would rather choose my characters, like everything about them, and have more outfits and such. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, how many crunchy chicks you eat, says Rando. Exactly. You remember crunchy chicks, Andrew? Remember we talking about crunchy chicks?
Like granola chicks? That kind of crunchy?
Oh, no. Cute, yellow, fluffy, soft, adorable chicks.
Like
And-
Peeps?
and- yes, except with bones.
Peeps
and
with
a heartbeat.
bones?
So if
And
you
a
eat
heartbeat,
crunchy
like
chicks,
real chicks. Actually chicks.
that's one of the
like
most evil things you can do in Fable is eat crunchy chicks. Like the evil doers like to eat crunchy chicks.
So you're just eating baby birds, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's the Fable thing. People who know Fable understand. But it's
It's a
very
tasty
British in its humor.
treat.
They're less like chocolate frogs. They have crunchy chicks. It's a whole thing. But yeah, so I'm super excited. Fable looks great. They also went through Beast of, oh my gosh, I didn't take any notes on this, but the new game from Game Freak, the Pokemon studio, it's like Beast of Redemption or something like that. And it looks like an actually really kind of neat game for them. Really good graphics. And then they showed us Kiln, which is a new game from Double Fine that was a surprise announcement, although we kind of knew it was coming, where you shape and design pottery that then fights. So, yeah.
Whoa.
It looks like a really fun multiplayer game.
Did you say it's called Kiln? What?
Kiln, yeah,
That's
Kiln.
funny.
Yep. Because you're out there killing other
Killing?
players.
You're out there killing? That's really
Yeah.
cute.
Will your pottery design stand the test of time? I don't know. It's bizarre, but it's Double Fine. It looks great.
Yeah.
And
It was nice of them to reinforce my decision to drop Game Pass.
There you go. So it was a fun Xbox Direct for me. Fable's coming in autumn, Forza this spring, and that's pretty much it. We didn't get information on anything else there specifically.
what did you mention there about you said something about the Pokemon team or something?
Yeah, so Game Freak is the company that makes Pokemon. And all the Pokemon games, and they very rarely do things that aren't Pokemon. But they are with this new Beast game. What is it called? Beast of Reincarnation, not Redemption. Beast of Reincarnation.
And I just assumed that they had like an exclusive Nintendo licensing like that. It's neat that it's on different platforms.
Yeah, this will be coming to Windows and Xbox and PlayStation. In fact, I don't even know if it's going to be on Switch. This one might just be for the...
It'll be opposite of what they usually do.
Yeah, exactly. Checking games they've made. Have they made stuff that isn't Pokemon otherwise?
And no Switch stuff is ever available on Xbox or PlayStation, right?
Some is, but not first-party stuff. Like first-party Nintendo stuff, pretty much.
No Mario or Sonic or anything like that.
Yeah, or even Animal Crossing, stuff like that. We really don't get it. But occasionally some things come to PlayStation, I think. Like, there's some Sonic games on PlayStation, right? I don't know.
I think that was before Nintendo got... I don't know. It's all that licensing stuff.
It's not new news, but there is some exciting Starfield news.
What happened?
He's talking about StarCon. That's our convention again. We've talked about.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, tomorrow is the day. From 12:30 to about 6 p.m. now, we're going to be doing StarCon with panels. The website will be in the show notes. It was last week too, if you go back and check. And yeah, going to be a bunch of panels happening, about 30 minutes apiece. Some YouTubers, some podcasts. I'll be there. Myself and my friend Jay and our friend Chris from the Collective. And we'll be talking with Wes Johnson and Jan Johns about their voice acting roles and
Beautiful. Starfield. All right. Look in, like Jess mentioned, the show notes. Look down, and we'll have that be our first link. And look at all the socials.
And by the time this pod comes out, it may have already happened. But you heard about it last week. You should have known. You should have prepared, and you didn't. It's on you. But don't worry. We're recording it, and a lot of them will be posted either on podcast feeds or various places.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all the news we got. Not a whole lot of bits this week.
All right. Tasty bits. Looks like that's what we have pretty much for the show this week. Is there anything else you guys would like to bring up?
Congrats to the Hoosiers.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to the Indiana Hoosiers, the NCAA college football national champions for the first time. Remarkable story. I know this is not a sports podcast, but it's just...
Look, if the Bills and the Bears... If the Bills and the Bears had to fall, at least your Hoosiers won their championship.
Yeah, it's amazing because 2 years ago they were the losingest college football team in the history of college football, and then we got a new coach, and they opened up investment. What happened is they signed this the likeness, the whatever that thing is, where players can now earn money. So now instead of like everything being under the table, it's just out and out now. So like people can pay and blah blah blah. So now Indiana University actually got a president of the university who's tired of getting their ass kicked and everything. She's from the South, really likes football, so then she invested all this money into the football program, which had never been invested before. That's why we're the worst football program in the history of the world, because they were treated like the worst football team, and then they had no money.
Oh, no.
So now we have, who's that billionaire shark guy? He went to Indiana University.
Shark Tank guy?
Yeah, he's a Shark Tank guy. He went to Indiana University. He owns the Dallas Mavericks. He's like some fucking billionaire guy, Mark something. And he went to IU. Mark, yeah, that guy.
Mark Cuban, okay.
And so he gave the Indiana football program $4 billion or something stupid. And so now they just have all this money to do whatever the fuck they want with. And they have no nationally recruited ranked players. It's just all these old turnaways and stuff, and it's so amazing that they just finally put together a team. And it just, as a Hoosier, you never would expect anything like that to happen.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It's amazing. amazing.
You know,
All right.
the Bills the last couple of years, it's been a little rough. Like we've been
Bills
close,
is
we've been
rough,
hitting the playoffs, we've been AFC champions. You know,
Yeah,
but
he made the Super
not to
Bowl
the bowl.
4 times. Good.
But
that's
Sean
a hard-
McDermott, speaking of coaches, our coach
Yes.
got dismissed.
I saw that, and it's absolutely ridiculous because out of the last like 8 or 9 seasons that guy's coached, he's
been with us 9.
He's
Yeah.
won more playoff games than most coaches coaching. So
Yeah,
I
he has
don't
one of the
know
best
if-
records
yeah,
in the
it's-
league. Absolutely.
I don't know
but
what the hell they're
because they've
doing.
stalled, I guess, recently, they're like, oh, you've stalled.
We
Like,
just need a change. It's weird. There's like 11 like open coaching jobs, and that never happens in so many coaching jobs at once. It seems like every team was just like, fire everybody, fire sale, get out of here, everyone gone. So it's gonna be lots of new, crazy, young, weird coaches next.
I just figured we'd talk a little football for
Yay,
people.
football! Go
And
Hoosiers!
celebrate your Hoosiers.
It's so fun. Good job, Hoosiers.
Now the Colts, that's a whole nother story.
Oh, that was such a tragedy. The curse of Andrew Luck will forever haunt. And there's some weirdness about former Colts owner Jim Irsay, who died last year. There's now a lawsuit popping up about like the doctors treating him maybe like over prescribing the wrong things and stuff like that because he was in recovery and doing all this. So I don't know, all sorts of weird stuff. Anyway, guys, please, I'll push this out as soon as I can. Listen to Star Con.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, we'll put out some of the panels as podcasts. Most likely, Stiller will do his, I'll do mine.
Nice,
We will
nice,
see.
nice.
We will see.
All right, guys. I think that'll do it for tonight. So check out StarCon and Jess and all of her many projects at Sleep is 4T. Jess, thanks so much for hopping on.
But mostly, I can be found huddled under the blankets with the heater on this weekend.
Oh my
goodness, that's where
God.
you'll find me.
It's going to be so fucking cool. And you can find Ray at Ray LB. Ray, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, good times. I'll be huddled under the blankets too. It was 55.
It was
last
60
night.
this morning. He was almost needed some shoes on. He almost had to put on pants.
Feels
was-
like minus 14 currently. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah, it was 4 degrees on my way home from work. It's probably negative temperatures now. All right. I can be found in the Facebook group, and everybody likes to go over there to that Discord. So please join up in our Discord. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout feed. We will see you in the wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.
You're super mega powerful,
Walkie-talkie?
like the shadow of a ghost. Retreat or die in obscurity. I could repair my laser pistol with jury picking.
Cherry picking. I spent 0 energy trying to please him.
Ping, 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 ping.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew.